Hi, welcome to yet another episode of Launch Plan. With us today, we have a very special friend. We have Mr. Saurav Rajorkar, who's currently a fifth year student in NUJS Kolkata. He has won the YK Sabharwal Constitutional Law Moot. He has won the Jindal Technology Law Moot Court competition and has bagged the prize for the best memorandum of claimant and respondent in the Willem Seevis International Arbitration. In this very fun talk, he'll be discussing his secret spice to acing it in moods, his advice how to manage time effectively in law school, and how he excelled in Tier 1 law firm internships. So, without any further ado, let's jump right into the discussion. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to Lawn Plug, and share this to as many people as possible. And in case you have any feedbacks, please feel free to reach out to us on LinkedIn and on YouTube.
Okay, yeah, it is already recording. Okay, so to start with, welcome to Lawn Plug. With us today, we have Saurav Rajorkar. Currently, he is a fourth year student in NUJS Kolkata and he has aced it in terms of mooting. He has won the Jindal Technology Law Moot Court competition, the YK Sabharwal Moot Court competition, and also the cherry on top being the best memorandum on behalf of the claimant as well as the respondent in the Willem Seevis International Moot Court competition. So we are blessed to have you, Saurav. And to start with, Saurav, ayes kasa tu?
Me, Majed. Thank you. It's a real pleasure coming, interacting with you guys. I mean, it's always a pleasure to interact with enthusiastic first years. Now going into the second year. So, I think I can relate to you guys much better because we are somewhat of the same age group. So it's is there a problem? Okay. So yeah, I think I really like it. Yeah. To be here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay. So to start with, Saurav, I really want to ask you this. Being in NUJS, which is a hyper competitive environment, still you take out time to participate in moot court competitions, still make it big there. And apart from that, you also you hold many leadership positions in NUJS also. And on top of that, you also are a teacher in Clatterpod. So how do you manage your time and also how have your 4 years been in NUJS?
So starting with my, if I would have to define my 4 years, I would say my 4 years has been all about mooting. It has all about chilling with friends in hostels, and at times it has been about academics. So it's a mix of all these three things, and I personally like organizational activities. So that is one of the reasons why I have taken so many leadership positions in college. That these things were premised more on my interest than anything else. So that's why I think managing it with academics was always possible because I was interested in it. And I think everybody can do it, honestly. It's more about how much you can balance. It's all about planning. You plan everything in advance, 10 days, 15 days. You know that you have a project submission coming. So I think at that time you can forego Netflix for a little bit time. And then otherwise you can just focus on what the task at hand. So, and honestly, even I wasn't that great at academics, but there are quite a few of my batchmates who are really excellent, who have managed their academics as well as all these extracurriculars really well and are batch toppers. So I think a page from their book would also involve something somewhat related to planning only. So I think meticulous planning, that's it.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, just to add regarding planning, I mean, do you plan, apart from 15 days before, do you plan how this semester is going to be like, or how is this year is going to be like? I'll participate in this mood, then I'll write this, then I'll be a part of this committee. Do you plan everything in advance, or you come as it takes per year, per semester?
So as far as the committees go, I do plan in advance if I want to take up any leadership position. But as for moods, it usually depends. So I am one of those creatures who would just do any mood for that matter. I'm so mooting I don't plan usually. I do plan on doing some moot. I don't know when, which one. So that just happens. But otherwise, I have not written papers as such. But even that, if I'm planning to do something on that end. So I think it's around 15 days, 20 days before. If there are certain activities which start at the start of the semester, I plan it beforehand. But if there is any other opportunity that comes my way in the middle of semester and I think I have the bandwidth to accommodate it, I tend to take that up as well, like at that point.
Great. Uh, I mean, to add to that, like I have no words because the primary thing which first years lack in is planning and prioritizing things when it comes to academics, going out with friends, and obviously Netflix. But moving over, Saurabh Dada has been my inspiration to some extent. He has inspired me so much to take up GLAD, to study hard. And with that being said, another aspect of Saurabh Dada's life is that he has been an avid mooter, as he has already mentioned. And this was in one podcast I heard that as Quidditch is to Hogwarts, mooting is to National Law Universities. So I guess with that, I guess you have that psyche or that thought in mind when you go about moots. So tell us how has your journey been of mooting? What is that you like about mooting? And I mean, it is very well evident that you are one of the best mooters NUJS must have ever seen, because you have aced it in every moot. Like be it William Civis, be it General Tech, YK Sabarwal, you have also won some NLIU moot. Top of it, you are a teacher at Catapult, and you have done a lot of things. So tell us what's your strategy in acing moots and what you like about it.
So just some corrections there. I'm definitely not the best mooter in college, because there are, NUJS has had some legends, and I'm nowhere compared to them. So it's a great thing that you are telling me that I might be the best mooter, but I'm nowhere close to those legends. I mean, I look up to them. So I'm just learning to maybe do something on those lines, like maybe walking on the path walking and trying to achieve the ambitions and the targets that they had achieved. So as far as mooting goes, I started off in my first year. I did my intra-university rounds, and so I did not perform well at all. I did manage to. So in NUJS, it's a 3-round process. The first round is the batch rounds, followed by the intra-university, where people from all the batches compete. So I was lucky enough to manage to excel in my batch rounds. I just managed to go into the next round. But in the university round, after that, but I genuinely liked the activity. I thought this is worthwhile my time, because classroom is a discussion where it's you're learning about the law, but mooting is an activity where you actually get to apply it to some hypothetical fact. So I always think that mooting is law in action for a law student. I mean, internship gives a different picture, and I am not at this point capable of saying what the real world of law looks like. But for a law student, I have always found mooting very engaging. So post my first year, I have, having found my interest in some activity, I constantly pursued it. I mean, I have not done well right when I got into law school, and this is what I want to tell all the people out there who will be joining law schools or who are there in the first year or second year, that you won't do well. There's a high chance you won't do well in your first or second moot. It's just possible. You might not even want to moot in your first 2 years, which is completely fine. But my idea is just try it once. It will help you somewhere or the other. And if you are interested in the activity, do it twice, do it thrice, and you'll get better. You'll just realize that you are getting better at the activity. So then it has been a long journey. Starting from first year, I have till now done 5. But I think I still want to do one more hopefully this year. So it's just an activity which I've personally really enjoyed, and I would urge all the first years to try it, regardless of what the result would
Please
be.
carry.
So Saurabh, you have a perfect model CV which many law students only dream about. So how do you stay dedicated towards your goal amidst the hyper competitive environment in NUJS?
So to start off, as an answer to that question, I don't think the concept of model CV is something which I personally agree to, because a CV, in my opinion, is something which showcases your interest in something. So this is a usual trend that I've seen with everybody. It's not just them. Even I was like maybe I fell prey to this, that okay, I have to try everything and make my CV the model CV. But the idea is to make your CV premised on your interests. I am interested in mooting, that is why I extensively mooted. I am interested in organizing events, that is why I organized events. But if you're doing it for the CV, then I would say don't do it. I would rather say do it for the learning experience. So that CV is something which just should showcase your interest, and that's just it. I mean, it is. I personally find it disheartening when people work towards their building a model CV. I mean, it's fair. Like, I'm not saying it's wrong, but for me, like, as a matter of personal opinion, I think it's better that if you can just try your hand at everything, and then maybe choose one or two things, let's say mooting, or you can say writing papers. Two of my really closest friends are interested in writing papers, so they have, and they might do a moot in the future. But the idea is, like, do what interests you, and don't work towards a model CV.
Right, Saurabh. And yeah, regarding the hyper competitive environment at NUJS, I mean, it can be intimidating at some times. So how do you stay focused and mind your own business? I mean, not looking and not getting intimidated by what others are doing. I mean,
Yeah, that is right. I mean, first time I came, I was a really underconfident kid in terms of my communication skills. I wasn't so good at English. So that time, when you see people around you who have achieved so much, that, and then even the entire year they are doing something or the other, people are winning moots, and so you definitely have a setback. Okay, you have to think that what am I doing? But after a point, you realize that you have to live in that place for the next 4 or 5 years, right? So you start realizing that it's not fair for me to think what the others are doing. It makes more sense if I am focused towards my goals. You set your goals, I achieve them. It doesn't, and nobody else will come in the middle of my goals. So it's a task which I set, I do. So, and for it doesn't really matter. I think initial 6 months, everybody's trying to make their mark. So that way it is competitive initially. But 2-3 years down the line, I think everybody just settles down, saying, okay, this is the area that I want to pursue. And the competitive nature of the university then just takes a backseat after a while.
Yeah, wonderful. Like, Saurabh, I had this question. Like, apart from doing moot boards and research papers, even internships are a very important aspect of a law school. So, like, excelling in internship is impossible, I feel, without having soft skills and interpersonal skills. So, how do you develop them, and how do you suggest for the freshers, and how could they develop them?
So interpersonal skills, I agree, are important, but in addition, the major work or major point of excelling in an internship would be the excellent work that you do. So interpersonal skills are cherry on top of the cake, and not the cake itself. So you have to look at, let's say, providing excellent work to your associates, to your senior associates. Then they get definitely impressed by your work, and then they start the conversation at times. So there otherwise you can just have a simple chat with them, and just smile while you're talking. Like, genuinely smile. These people are very smart, so they'll know that if you're faking it. So just be happy around there. And as far as developing interpersonal skills are concerned, I think it's a matter of exposure. The more you are exposed to situations in college, and because I have discussed things with vendors for cultural committee, while I have discussed things with partners from international law firms. So those situations just demand from you to don a different hat and approach the people in different ways. So gradually you realize that okay, with respect to certain person with a certain temperament, you have to talk in a certain way. So it's just a matter of experience. You subject yourself to more situations, you develop those interpersonal skills, and it's something that you will do it automatically. You don't need to make an effort. Just expose yourself more.
So yeah, I feel experience counts over here.
Yeah, definitely.
Saurav Dada, quickly plugging in, did you receive any PPO till now?
So I have had 2 interviews, one with Trilegal, one with Sam. The Trilegal one, because of a procedural irregularity, didn't work out that well because I hadn't done 2 internships. So that way they said that maybe I'll have to do 1 more. But with Sam, I did 2, and then I had my interview, and then COVID struck. So it's still in a limbo as of now.
Good luck.
So, maybe you are an incoming associate at after COVID.
Definitely.
I hope it's fine. It's fine if I don't get it. I mean, Sam is an excellent place, but if I don't get it, it's fine. Not a big deal.
So what's your end goal then? If not corporate, then will you go for litigation or another firm? If not Sam.
At this stage, it's too early for me to say, because right now I'm looking at doing a job in a law firm. So and more importantly, a disputes team, because I'm interested more in disputes. So because of my mooting background, I think disputes is the most interesting team out there, and I have interned thrice in disputes team. So that way, I think I've done corporate also. That I personally found disputes more interesting. So law firm it is for the next, I think for the next 4-5 years at the least.
Just to add on that, if you ever work in a law firm, then you'll be coming to Mumbai, right? You see you around then.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it depends, because I am looking at Delhi more than Bombay. So
Still, good for you. All the best.
Then I will come over to Delhi.
yeah, I mean, all of you guys would be coming to Delhi, or eventually for your Supreme Court internship. So maybe we can meet there.
So Saurabh, this is the fire round where we ask you some questions and you're very quick in replying them.
Yeah.
So you ready? Should we
Yeah.
start?
Yeah.
To law firms and all, like you was just talking about Sam, Gam and all. So have you ever actually cursed a law firm you don't like it, or the most boring place you've ever interned? Any law firm?
I have never done that, to be very frank, because law firm is made of individuals, and all these the people I have interacted with in all my internships have been thorough professionals. Even if work has been a lot, it has been because they trust me with the work. So that is just reassuring for an intern, that you are given a lot of responsibility while handling such big matters. So that is I think you are there to learn. I mean, people who end up cursing aren't really learning at all, because there will definitely be a lot of work. So some people might have bad experiences in some firms, but I have never had any. I have had a really wonderful track record. I'm in touch with a lot of people from all the places that I've interned. So yeah, that way I think it has been a good experience overall.
Yeah. Your interest shows that your interest in working with different law firms shows that you love working in law firm then.
Yeah, definitely.
So if you're given an opportunity, which law would you create? A silly law, if given an opportunity to create?
Silly law, I think I would mandate every university to have a coffee machine on every floor, so that at midnight you don't have to put in a lot of effort to just go and my college doesn't have a 24-hour canteen, so it's a real pain to go and make a coffee for yourself. So hoping for there to be more coffee machines.
I think just to add on to it, Amir relates it very well, like drinking late night or coffees.
Late night,
So-
it can be any time. It is a savior, genuinely. Coffee is a savior.
Of life.
Yeah,
Also, I feel with like hot coffee, there should also be a cold coffee machine, because at times, it's not very expensive also, and cold coffee is also way better than any cool drink.
Yeah, exactly. We can have the Nescafe coffee machines, which give both hot and cold ones. So let's have more coffee machines.
Yes, so NLU Nagpur administration, I know you are watching this. So in the comments down below, you can tell us if there is a yes or no.
There is just one problem. NLU Nagpur administration won't be watching this video.
Yeah, we'll definitely.
but for sure, Nescafe will be thankful to us.
A lot of these companies would be, I'm sure, if this law is actually made, a lot of people across India would be happy.
Yeah.
Right.
What do you, Rajesh?
Moving on with yeah. Sure. Moving on with the next few questions we have in this segment. The first being in three or less, segments or sentences, convince why one should join NUJS.
Yeah.
Okay. You can say party,
Oh.
and studies. Party is a lot. There are a lot of parties, and then these people are smart and they party. So that way, it's fun.
A very balanced approach, sort of.
I mean, parties do they weigh heavily. Like parties have a special place in NUJS people's heart.
Right. So the takeaway is that in NUJS there is a lot of party. There are smart people and they also study. So that is why one should join the place.
Yeah, I think it just gives you best of both the worlds. Like the smartest people, you get exposure to the best students out there. I wouldn't have it any other way. I had the smartest juniors, I've had the smartest seniors and the smartest batchmates. So along with that, you get a lot of chance to have fun in the campus. Like it's a very, very relaxed campus. There is no curfew, so you can just roam around at 2 or 3 in the night. Just hang out with your friends. So it is nice, and the administration is very supportive too. So it's a nice experience.
Great. The next question being, tell us 3 things that are on your bucket list.
3 things on my bucket list. I think first would be to I think in these times, whatever I used to do regularly in college would be my bucket list now. But I just want to go back to college. But regardless, if you were to say that if things were normal, then I would say first would be my bucket list would be leaving NUJS a more inclusive place where mooting as an activity is more inclusive. It can be done by each and everybody, should ideally be done by each and everybody. So I'm taking steps to ensure that. Second, I think would be going to Kona Dukan. Kona Dukan is a place in Calcutta. It's something which people say you should do in your final year. So I'm looking forward to that. And I think the final thing in my bucket list would be maybe doing one more moot. So and then after that, I'll just close the shutters.
Right, from Moods, I remember you have also participated in William Civis. So I guess
Yeah.
you have accomplished the dream of every law student. So now, which else more do you want to do? Like, I mean, you have done
I
so
mean,
many.
yeah, so I really don't do moot because of the name. It's just that the passion, like I am really scared before going to speak. Like that's what usually happens. Like there's a lot of fear, there's excitement right before you are going to up to that podium. If any of you have mooted, you realize it that my I still have my hands go cold when I'm going to speak. So then after you calm your nerves, take a sip of water, and then you just start off. Like you live in that moment while you're speaking. So that's something out of the blue. I've never experienced something like that, because at that time neither you're worried about what is going to happen after it, nor are you worried about, oh, how much effort did I put in. It's just about being in that moment and being able to answer the judges' questions. And it's a lot of fun, a lot of excitement.
Right, this clearly shows your interest for corporate. I mean, because corporate as well, you have a lot of work pressure, you have a lot of tension, if I may, and a lot of rivalry, if I'm right to say that. So moving ahead, now that you have immense interest in corporate law, so if I were to give you a choice between say a month internship in one of the Magic Circle law firms and another choice with a trip, a full paid trip to say Europe or say any country where you're invited as a judge to a moot, which option would you go ahead with?
I think you tipped the scales by saying that you are invited for to judge a moot along with traveling to Europe. I was inclining more towards the Magic Circle law firm, but I think I choose the latter.
Great, great, great. I think that has been one of the most unconventional and most like unexpected answers, because everyone will say that Magic Circle, because eventually Magic Circle is also a trip to Europe in a way, and maybe if you perform well in your firm, you might be invited to some moot sometime in future. But anyways, I mean, this shows how passionate Saurav is for mooting.
Truly.
Right. Over to you, Hemant.
So Saurabh, this is it. It was such a great session, so insightful, so informative. What was unique about this talk was we were actually able to relate with you. We actually do not want to end this, but as we all have time constraints, so I would like to thank you for taking out time to be here with us.
Thank you so much, guys. Pleasure is all mine.